Hi and welcome to Tom's IT channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a scheduled task. So let's get started. You go to Start, you can go to the control panel, or with Windows 10, Windows 8, you can just hit Search, Task Scheduler, and here we go. So the basics of a task scheduler is you're taking an application and you're running it on a schedule. That schedule can be anything you want. So I've created a batch file for this. You can use an application on your computer. You can do whatever makes sense. But most often when I'm using a scheduled task, it's to run a batch file, something that my computer needs to do for me that I don't want to do on a rhythm. So I've created a batch file for this. You're going to go to, you can either choose create task or create basic task. Both of them work. One is more of a wizard. The other one is more straightforward. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. So this is the wizard format. You can fill out the information, click next, 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 and walk through it, or you can click create task. Both are the same. This is the actual schedule task. This is the one that I prefer. So we're going to just call this netstat because that's what my batch file does. Run only when user is logged in. Okay, there's multiple things here. Run only when user is logged in. You can run when user is logged in or not, but the trick is you have to have a local admin user. So in a situation where if you work for a company, most often they have domain users. So you can't log in as a domain user and have a scheduled task that runs when the user is not logged in, unless you have admin rights assigned to your domain user account. So for a personal computer, it's pretty straightforward. You can run whether user is logged in or not. For a domain account, it does not work unless it has admin rights assigned to it. You're going to want to run with highest privileges depending on the task. So then next, so the trigger, this is the actual schedule. This is what triggers your CPU to kick off this task on a schedule. So I'm going to run this daily starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm going to delete this so it doesn't matter. 7 a.m. Now there's repeat options here. So I've actually had scheduled tasks run as often as every 5 minutes. So you can do that. Now all you can do is delay a task, repeat task every hour, 5, 10, 15, 30, or 1 hour. So I'm not going to repeat this, but for the duration of the day. So the idea here of repeat the task every hour for a day, if you repeat a task every hour for the day and then it restarts tomorrow, it never stops. That's an unending task because it repeated hourly. So every hour of every day, starting at the time that you've chosen, it will run. I'm not going to repeat this task. I generally choose some of these advanced settings just in case. I mean, this netstat should only take 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to say stop the task if it runs longer than 30 minutes. If you want an end date set, you can set that. Okay, hit OK. Next, you're going to go to Actions, and now this is what is your scheduled task going to do. So you can click New. There's several options here. You can send an email or display a message. Again, I don't know why you would ever do that, but start a program, click Browse, and scroll to your task. So I just put it in my temp folder, netstat.bat. Okay. Conditions. So you can set conditions if you don't want the task to run while you're on it, or if you're only connected to a specific network, which is handy if you're a domain user. If you need to connect to a specific network so you have access to specific printers or computers and then run the task, then you can use these options here. I don't use any of these. I usually just turn them all off, and I do usually set wake the computer to run this task just in case. Then settings allow to run on demand. That means that for if you ever just need to click run, you can click run. You don't have to wait for the scheduled time. So I always leave that checked. Again, if the task fails, restart. I just tell it go ahead and restart every minute for up to 3 minutes. Stop the task if it runs longer than 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the conditions. I set it here twice just in case. If the running task does not end when requested, force it to stop. If the task is not scheduled to run again, delete it. So you could have just a temporary scheduled task that runs for a certain amount of time and then stops. I haven't ever used that. I generally, when I set a task, I want it to do something because I don't want to have to do it anymore. It's automation. And then hit OK. And now you have a scheduled task. So, but where did it go, you say? I don't see it here. Right, this is the most obvious place that it would be, but it's still here. It's just it put it in the task scheduler library. So you have to click here, and there it is. Netstat. We've created a task. It will run every day. Let's go ahead and run that so we can see it work. So there's my batch file. It runs netstat. It pipes it to a netstat.txt text file, and every day at 7 a.m., if you know what the netstat command does, it'll check all of my ports and see what's running. There we go. It finished. So we can go to see the file that it output. See temp netstat.txt, and there's the ports that it's running. That is how you run a scheduled task. Thanks for watching. Check out some of my other videos.